Hello folks, today I've got a video where I'm going to go through and review all of the stash tabs in Path of Exile 2. I bought one of each stash tab and I've been using them so I can give you kind of a bit of a idea of what they're like in game. I'll show you how they work. And I'm also going to do a review of the microtransaction store. So this is going to be kind of a two-part-ish video here. So let's start off with the stash tabs, what is available and what is not available. So to get there, you go into shop and then stash tabs, and then you can see which ones are available. So there's the gem stash tab, the flask stash tab. There's the upgrade that was already in the game. Currency stash tab, I knew that one was coming over. Quad, essence we knew was coming over because essences are in the game now. Regular premium tabs, that makes sense. The unique collection tab, this one's kind of nice. A delirium tab and a stash tab bundle. So, one thing you'll notice that's not in here is the Waystone tab. So I initially had thought that there would be a map stash tab converted into a Waystone stash tab, but that does not seem to be the case yet. They may add that in the future, but that is not the case right now. Okay, so let's take a look at each of these stash tabs and see what they are. So the first one, and the one I think that is the most useful, is the currency stash tab. It looks like this. In PoE 1, it's got two kind of like mini tabs in it, and you can swap to the exotic currency, but in PoE 2, there's not that many currencies yet, so it's just one page. So you can store things like your transmutations, your augs, your alchemies, etc. It's got also some slots down here that you can use for runes, and that's what I've been using it for. It's also got a nice little spot here that you can put any piece of gear and you can just kind of work on it. So I would say this one is probably the best, and if you're going to buy anything other than just the regular tabs or the premium tabs, then I would suggest this one. Alright, then we've got our dump tab. This is a quad tab, a premium quad tab. So you can right-click on this one, you can set it to public, you can list things on the trade site with this, you can also change the color of the tab, and you can put you can set an affinity so any of these things go into it. Pretty useful tab overall. Highly recommend this one as well. Alright, Delirium tab. I haven't got the Delirium yet, so I haven't really had any use for this tab. I would say this one is pretty low on the priority, and I wouldn't recommend getting this one. Maybe if you like get into deep mapping and you like spec into Delirium, then this one might be useful, but other than that, I don't really see that one being much of a use. Okay, then we have the unique stash tab. So this one here, it'll show all of your owned uniques. Now I've only had a couple drop, so I had an Asphyxia's Wrath drop, so that went in here. What else? Dodre's. You can show owned, you can show all. Once you have them, they'll show up here. Honestly, I don't think that this one's really that necessary either. Again, it has the affinity system, so all things will go into it automatically, and you can list things publicly, but there's not enough unique drops in the game to really justify buying this, so I would not buy this one. Flask tab is pretty nice. The thing that's nice about this tab is that it arranges your flasks by level, so if you're like leveling an alt character, you can see like, you know, the level 1 to 10 flasks, 11 to 20, and I've started actually keeping a bunch of flasks for that reason, so that when I level up my new character, I can just get them and then slap them in here. You can also click off each of these so that you can show like just life flasks or just mana flasks. So pretty nice functionality. You can also sort them in different ways, so you can sort them by base type or by quality instead. Pretty nice tab. Again, I don't know if this one's all that necessary, but it's kind of nice. Okay, then we have the gem tab. Now this one I do think is really good. This one's worth a buy for sure. So this one sorts all of your uncut gems and your cut gems. So if I click off all of these other things here, you can see here are my level 1 skill gems. If I had level 2 skill gems, they would show up here. You can also show your support gems. You can sort them by gem level, by quality. You can show just the persistent buff ones. So these are like, you know, Weathering Presence, Raging Spirits, things like that. Or you could just have just your uncut gems show up. If I click off everything will show up. Honestly, with how many of these uncut gems you get, and having it sort them like this is a pretty nice tab. Also, this can be public. So I could like list, for example, like level 12 gems. I could set them for a price and say like, let's say I wanted to sell them for, I don't know, 1-1 or Orb of Alchemy. I can do that, and then people will start messaging me, and then I can sell them out of the tab like this. It's pretty nice, honestly. I think that this one is a definite buy. All right, then we've got Essence. Again, haven't made it to like end game fully yet, so I've only just gotten these like small essences. Just like in PoE 1, you've got the little spot here that you can use your essences. Not really sure what this is for down here. This is probably something that I haven't gotten to yet, but I don't really know if this is necessary until you get, again, into the deep end game and you're like getting a ton of essences. But realistically, like this is something you could just have a stash tab for this. I don't think you need to buy a full essence tab. You could just throw in a regular tab, right? Okay, and then that does it for the like specialty tabs. The only other thing is just like a regular premium tab. This has the same functionality as the quad tab that I showed before. Basically, you can just put any affinity to it, and then you can set the color. You can set it to public, and then either put the price on the whole tab, like for example this one here, I buy out as just one exalted, or you can do it on an individual item level. And then I would be amiss if I didn't just show like the regular tabs in the game. So here's just a regular tab. The only difference between a regular tab and the premium tab is that the premium tab gets like, you can put it as public and you can change the color. But the affinity system still works in the regular tab, and you get a number of those just baseline as well. So that's pretty much it for the stash tabs. So then what else is in this shop? So if I go to cosmetics here, I can open up my old cosmetics from PoE 1. Now, you'll notice almost everything here says unavailable. There's a message, let me bring it up here. It says, during early access, we'll be adding microtransactions to Path of Exile 2 in batches as they're ready. There'll be a mixture of new microtransactions and existing microtransactions from Path of Exile 1. If you already own microtransactions in Path of Exile 1, they'll be unlocked for you immediately as they're ported over to Path of Exile 2. Thank you for your support. So, basically, almost none of them are available right now. The Lord of Ogum, like all the stuff from the supporter packs that are specific to PoE 2, they're available. Almost nothing else is available right now. There's the occasional one, but basically nothing is available. So ultimately, these things will become available, and I assume that they'll be available before or at the 1.0 launch. That's kind of my assumption. Yeah, if I look through here, it's all unavailable for... And I bought I bought like a decent amount of stuff, but also I've played in a lot of races and things like that and won a lot of stuff. So I actually have like a decent amount of things here to like look at to see like how many, to get an idea of like how many things actually came over. Okay, we've got Immortal Spirit Gloves. They worked. Let's see what they look like. Okay, it's cool. It's kind of hard to tell with just that. Let's see if there's anything else. Lord of Ogum. Weapon skin. Okay, the Scourge weapon, I'm using that. That was from Scourge League. That one came over. Looks nice. Now, Black Loot came, and the Sulphurous Gargoyle Wings came. Now, one thing I will say, because I think people are like, well, why does it take so long for GG to get all these things over? Like, I think that this looks a lot nicer than it does in PoE 1. So I don't think it's as simple as they're just like porting things over. I think they're doing some minor adjustments to them as well to make them like fit into like the character models and the rigging. Like, this looks way better than in PoE 1, without a doubt. Okay, then the other things that are in the shop, there's the packs. So the different supporter packs are all here. You can see those. They were already announced, so I'm not going to go through that. There's a sales section, although there's no sales yet. In the shop, you can look at different armors. There's some armors that are like already available. I assume these are the things that... Wait, Nightfall. That looks cool. These are the things that they've already transferred over. It's nice how they have like a little thing here that shows you what your character is going to look like with the microtransactions on. There's a couple of pets. Suspicious rock. That's funny. Some visual effects. I'm not going to go through every single thing here, but... okay, then there's account features. So extra character slots and the cursor pack transferred over. Now, there's hideouts, but the hideout area is grayed out. So I assume that like once more of the hideouts have been transferred over, then they'll be available in the shop. The decorations is also grayed out, which is interesting because there's like a lot of hideout decorations in PoE 1. All right, then there's guild stash tabs. I think they're just all the same stash tabs. Yeah, they're basically all the same stash tabs that are in the core game. Now, I have a guild stash tab in PoE 1, and it did not transfer over. So, it looks like, as of right now, guild stash tabs did not transfer over, but I expect that they probably will in a future update. Another thing that's interesting is that they have a wish list section here, so you can, like, put an item on a wish list, and then I assume other people that are friends of you can see this wish list and maybe buy it for you. I don't really know. I'm not really sure how to get to that. Maybe if it's in your... It says manage guild here, so maybe it's something related to guilds. Alright, and then of course there's a section here where you can buy points for the shop. The same exact pricing and same exact points as it is in PoE 1. Alright, so that concludes the video on stash tabs and microtransactions. If you liked the video, you found it helpful, leave a like and a sub. See you next time, guys. Peace out.